limitations and restrictions that the building principal should be.
Limitations and restrictions may apply.
You could put that,
That is how
you could put that at the end of the second paragraph, couldn't you?
Well, that's what I was, yeah. Like on that front page, you mean? Yeah, I was just, wanted to just, so there's some.
So under that, Kelly, I mean, we went through hoops changing this repeatedly, so.
Yeah.
Kelly wanted the, under virtual instruction registration, the grade will be recorded on the student's transcript. And the M will be used in determining GPA the student should be done.
You don't, hold up, say that again now.
Okay.
The grade, it would simply say the grade will be recorded on the student's transcript.
Yes. Do we want that registration piece with the, coincide with the district's course registration schedule and deadlines?
I don't know that you, because some of those, CDE courses are like weekly course. But then again, I suppose it is, should be up to the principal.
So maybe. I don't think it talks about. There's somewhere else. I don't know where. Ugh.
Well, we did this here, okay, we just passed this one on in May. Okay, here's how. I wonder if, did you find your one that we just passed in May? Okay.
I don't know if I don't know if I feel about either of those optional substances. I would prefer to not, but I don't know what you think. Or what Kelly thinks, I guess.
This one probably didn't get, trying to see on this old one here that we just did it, if this is my copy probably from before, yeah, it is. Is that it hasn't had that grade will be recorded on the student's transcript.
No, I don't know if that ever,
Well,
I mean, I hope that got changed, but I don't.
I don't know.
I suppose that should go on the minutes every time we do that, what the amendment is instead of what the amendment is instead of just as amended. Good grief, they get so long.
Well, right, yeah. Well, this way I think by Yeah, I'm doing it right now, digitally, we're gonna get the one when we come to the meeting, that's gonna be with our amendments on it. If we do
Right.
something, then they'll be changed right away, and then when we come to the second reading, we'll only vote.
Hopefully, yes,
We shouldn't have so many that we're changing on the second reading,
correct.
that's what we're hoping.
That is the goal,
Yep,
which technically, I don't know, technically, probably, once you change it, there should be another reading after it, but
yeah. Yeah, even if it's just like a, a simple word or something, I have no problem then.
Right.
But yeah. Okay, so what did we decide now on those two last options there for registration and, or do you have what?
I kinda don't like that, but I don't know.
But I do want, we want. Well, the district has discretion to determine whether to pay on us.
Alright. Registration for the virtual instruction may or shall coincide unless otherwise arranged with the building principal. What? Does that make sense? What I was saying is, for example, let's say a student has pre-registered for their senior year and they find that they're gonna be short a half a credit of an elective. And they wanna take a CDE course on carpentry over the course of the summer. They would have to approve it with the principal, but it doesn't necessarily fall in lines with the registration timeframe.
So what if you just said registration for virtual instruction will coincide with the district's course registration schedule and deadlines unless.
So that way maybe if you just say may, then
Or
does you say
what's the
shall?
difference between will and shall?
Nothing.
Yeah, those two are both like it is going to be.
It
May is where you have.
Or should.
Mhm.
But if you leave it at will, then it says unless approved by the building principal.
Yeah.
So you could just, well, leave the will, okay.
I just think that adds a little autonomy to it too.
Yeah, a little bit of flexibility.
Yep.
And then what about the last one? Again, I think that takes your flexibility away, I'm not sure. I guess I'm thinking of a kid who is very targeted to something, some specific, I don't know, which they probably don't need any course credit anyway, but they wanna take classes about.
Right, but it also does say that it would be normally be found in a high school curriculum. It doesn't necessarily mean it's in this particular high school's curriculum.
Right, but if you're, really focusing on some kind of medical and then they wanna take a class that actually isn't normally found in. Like I said, they probably don't need the credits, so.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it should be something that would be normal, otherwise they're gonna.
I wonder what the goal is to not allow, a crochet class and
But then,
I'm just curious what the.
I mean, granted, if they get our minimum, but still at the same time, then they're gonna, let's say they take all our minimum and they pass the requirements for us to pass, but let's say they got a bunch of B's and C's, but then I have to take all these other ones to have a grade. I'm gonna take crocheting and basket weaving and blah, 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 and get A's in all of them, so it brings my grade point up. Well, that's not really academic.
We took that out.
True, but,
It doesn't count toward their grade.
right. I thought you were asking about only if the course would normally be found in a high school curriculum. I thought you meant like putting that, but we were worried about that under there. Cause that wouldn't normally be under a high school curriculum. I thought that's where you were asking for it.
Well, right, I'm just curious what the target is for this. What are they trying to keep them from? Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence on that one, I guess. Maybe ask about that one sentence.
Is that last optional one?
Yeah.
We could ask something, get some opinion maybe.
Move on.
Back to that, yeah, we'll do that one. Okay, GACB, patriotic exercises. My only thing is I just didn't want that older sentence, that may leave campus designated time of day and length of time. Well, how do we know?
Right.
Yeah.
To me, whoever's taking them, if it's gonna be history teacher, whoever, if they're gonna drive them down there, let it do it as to whatever time of day it works, you know, for them, otherwise, how can I pick a time next year as to what it's gonna be?
Yeah, no, I would leave that
Yeah.
whole sentence out there.
Okay, that was an easy one.
So you're just taking out designate time and day, you're gonna keep
Students
students may leave camp.
No,
We're just gonna leave the first sentence, that whole thing.
That's all you're
that's-
taking out the whole thing.
Yeah, because the reference is that they may leave campus. Okay. And
My only question on this one,
this last one, GAC.
is if you do this alternate where you have less math, I think, and does the diploma indicate that that's a GED, or is that just the same as anybody else's diploma?
it has to be board approved. An alternate, so like, the standard is 22 credits.
Right.
If the student applies for an alternative diploma, that has to be board approved, and it's completely circumstantial. It is, I don't believe on the sheet of paper it is denoted.
That is alternative.
It's not a GED. I could be mistaken in that, Vanessa, but I don't.
Well, yeah, because this one used to be called GED credit for high school graduation and curriculum, but I suppose now they aren't gonna just specify GED. They're gonna call it an alternative method.
Well, alternative diploma, I'd be okay with that. I just,
Mhm.
I don't know, I do have a little bit of problem with.
Which one are we on here?
GACE, the last one.
I just haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, no, that's fine, yeah, it's a recommended one. But yeah, they had a different title before. So what the first, okay, let's do the very first thing there. Do we want the career advisor, guidance counselor, principal may meet with the student and student's parents to determine, or do we want a combination?
I actually would think it should be the guidance counselor and the principal.
And principal.
That's what I was
I
thinking
agree.
too. I was gonna say, to me, it should be both.
Tell you what, when you're going through these policies, that strikeout keystroke is really handy.
Yeah.
Took me a while to figure
Alright, so on the backside for credit for emergency circumstances, on it, the last sentence says emergent circumstances will be determined within the discretion of.
Let me read it once.
I think it should be superintendent. But I figured the superintendent will have more knowledge
I
of,
would agree.
more knowledge of the, of what the circumstances in the
Well,
board.
here's the deal, if you, I suppose you go into executive session or something like that, what applies, but how would you even do that with the board?
Right, and,
How
and
would
in
we
fact,
know the
matter,
circumstances, yeah,
that's the thing, and the key word there is emergent.
right, right, so something emergent, you're gonna know that as a superintendent, not as a board.
But then the board is the one that does the final approval of,
Well, yeah.
Right, cause it says it, yeah, the first, you know.
so
the board
superintendent would determine the emergent circumstances, but then the board still approves
approves
it.
it. Mhm.
Cause I don't wanna listen to a whole month, like, string of things in an open board meeting.
Well, right.
No, nor should.
Right, yeah. Mhm. Okay, so we are
So you
good
chose
down,
super,
What?
you chose superintendent?
yep,
And then on the top of the status counselor.
Yeah.
okay, so now, which was the other one we just were gonna bring back for one. Put that one down there. Which one are we just gonna? What's that? I gotta make a note here. Oh yeah, I got my notes here. I just wanna make sure I had my notes of which ones we were bringing back and whatever we talked about, which ones. So,
Can you guys answer a couple questions for me while we're all sitting here?
yeah, sure.
I had wrote down two that I maybe had missed on BCAA. I think I got most of it, but can you read me again the order of those? It was BCAA, that's where we talked about the agenda and things. I wrote down like on public comment, you're gonna ask her to put that in the order, and then you want financial under communication. I just wanna make sure I have it right, that's all, before we go.
Right, yeah, I can kind of give you this here one as to how we were gonna follow along with call to order the pledge.
Oh, okay, so
consent.
you give me that after
Yeah,
then?
and then we can, yeah, and then I did have a question about where to put public comment or whatever, so, yeah, we can look at that.
On BBA, there was a school board elections in terms of office. You just wanted to specify them on the optional part on the front page there that it's the second Tuesday in June.
She has that for you as well.
Oh, she has that for me as well.
Yeah, and we're
Alright,
gonna,
that's fine.
yeah,
And
You're
then on,
gonna insert the whole big chunk
Oh,
of
okay.
the whole phone.
yeah, and then also a big, yeah.
and then on one of the last ones that something popped in my brain here. So it was the GACA, you just did that. For that first, you guys discussed for the first optional, on the bottom of the first page, weeks into the second, what did you do there?
Scratched it.
All of it?
Scratched, on the bottom of page one and the top of, yeah, the one and the two, the whole.
Limitations and restrictions, scratched it.
Mhm.
And then, I had asked for, what did you say after will on registration for virtual instruction, will on the first optional?
Unless, and deadlines, unless approved by the building principal.
Registration for virtual instruction will,
Coincide with the district
Coincide.
scores, registration schedule and deadlines, unless approved by the building. And I forget where, then there was also, did you get the other one about, where the grade will be recorded on the student's
On the
transcript?
students, yeah, I've already updated, like I can just go through and find that.
right, so, but what did you say that,
Will be recorded on the student's transcript and the grade analysis scratched.
that's in the optional?
Yes.
Okay, because somebody said the word unless. What did you say right after schedule and deadlines? What did that say right after deadlines?
Unless
Unless.
approved by the building principal.
And then where's the transcripts?
The grade will be recorded. And then
Oh,
just go
recorded.
on the student's
And
transcript
will, okay.
and will be used in determining GPA of the student will be scratched off.
And then that second optional, we're gonna talk that over.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough, 10:24. We are adjourned.